Hey, what's going on guys? Flick here and welcome back to another episode of the Stuttgart Career Mode. This is episode 2 of season 2, and in episode 1 we made the biggest transfer of this career mode so far by bringing in Timo Werner for 17.5 million. We still have a couple of days left in the summer transfer window, and I plan on taking full advantage of that, adding a few extra players into the team and improving squad depth. But first I want to give an overview of the episode, and we'll start with the Bundesliga home opener against Frankfurt. Then moving into September, we have another home match against Schalke, and to close out the episode, we do have our first match in the Europa League against Admira Wacker. Now, to address the signing of our left midfielder, we had 3 transfer deals accepted, and each of these players have their own strengths. I would have been okay signing any of them, that's why I included them on the vote, but the results of the poll were fairly overwhelming, and the player you guys chose was Václav Černý, and I feel like this was the right choice. It's a very fair amount for him, 6 million, 20 grand a week, and his overall is not too bad. He has a decent amount of potential ahead of him, and he'll fit right into the first team. So without further ado, we'll welcome the signing of Václav Černý to Stuttgart. Václav Černý is a Czech winger that has been part of the Ajax youth system since 2014, having made several impressive performances in the second division of Netherlands football. Some believe that he is ready to face more formidable opposition. However, with the rise of other wingers through the Ajax youth system, the chance for Černý to appear in the Ajax first team continues to fade. Perhaps with the move to the Bundesliga, Černý can prove his critics wrong and rise through the ranks of the Stuttgart depth chart. As a left-footed player with 3-star weak foot, I'm banking on Černý to send in some pinpoint crosses to our strikers. He also features the acrobat speciality, which may allow for some incredible goals during his time with us. Černý's greatest strengths are his pace and dribbling ability. His 88 acceleration and 85 sprint speed allow him to burn past defenders. When he needs to retain possession, his 84 dribbling and 82 ball control will keep the ball at his feet. As Černý transitions into the Stuttgart system, he'll need to learn how to defend and play as a box-to-box winger. I'm confident that if we can provide him with game time and training sessions, he can remain with us in the long term. With the remaining funds that we have available, I'd like to sign a right back, because since we have sold Klein, we don't have a proper right back in this team, and we have roughly 5 million left to spend, so I've added 3 players to the transfer short list. These players have been suggested by you guys in the comment section, either in the last episode or at a previous point in time. The first player is Lucas Klosterman, another player from RB Leipzig, and we seem to be going after all of their players, but this guy is absolutely fantastic. He's very gifted in the physical attributes, not the best technically, but we can work on those statistics. The second player is Jonas Benson, very high rated at 76, 24 years old, and I'm assuming that he does have a potential over 80, and this guy's just very well balanced in pretty much every category. He's quick enough to play at fullback, and we could even play him in the midfield if we wanted to, or if we had any injuries take place. The final player that I have on our transfer shortlist is Felix Paslak. This is the lowest rated out of the bunch, but he's also the youngest, so he has a lot of room to grow, and he again is pretty gifted in the technical attributes, but he's slightly slower than the likes of Svensson and Klosterman, so that's his downfall. But if he were to grow in that category, then he would still be a decent right back. So I'm going to start submitting bids, and I'll update you if any of these bids are accepted. While we're on the topic of transfers, I'd like to quickly talk about the Baumgartel situation, and we did loan him out in episode 1. Technically, we could recall him from loan for a very small fee, but I want to keep him at Mönchengladbach for half a season. That way we can experiment with some of our other center backs, and you guys voted that Onguene would be our starting center back alongside Toski. That's a great decision. Onguene has played well in every single match he's featured in, and while Baumgartel is on loan, we'll let Onguene shine and maybe showcase that he can be a future first team center back for us. I put it up to a vote on whether we should promote 2 of our youth academy players in Ojeda and Taylor. You guys voted that yes, we should promote them now that their overall is high enough, and I think we can find some playing time for them considering we have more matches to play this year. We have the likes of the Bundesliga, the DFB Pokal, as well as the Europa League, so I'm sure we can find some playing time for them. Before playing our first match of the episode, I wanted to do a review of our formation, custom tactics, and unveil our captain for season 2 of the career mode. We'll start with the captain. As you can see, it will be Serdar Toski. He's been around Stuttgart for a long time, and he played an enormous role in in Season 1 of this career mode, so I feel like he is the best candidate for the job. In terms of the tactics, I set it to the default high pressure. This is pretty much what I use in career mode. Since the CPU tends to stick on the ball quite a bit, I use the high pressure to win the ball back, and that usually allows for a couple of easy goals. In terms of the instructions, I have Werner and Ginczek set to get in behind. Maxime will be staying forward on the attack, Afori staying back on the attack, as well as our fullback staying back on the attack. Everyone else, their instructions are set to default. This first match will be a great test for how we can perform in the Bundesliga this season. We showed our ability to beat Bundesliga sides last year in the Pokal, but our team is even stronger this year, so I have full confidence in our starting 11. Here is the Frankfurt lineup, and interestingly enough, they have included Klein at the right mid position, but the focal point for us will be the player debuts. For Werner, Czerny, and Kolasinac, the fans have to be excited to see them. He needs to win that header, and he isn't quite able to, but we have Czerny on the ball, finding the outlet in Kolasinac. He can push up and provide an attacking threat. Here we go. Kolasinac outpacing the Frankfurt defense and still on the ball somehow, needs to float it into the far post, and we win ourselves a corner kick all of a sudden in the 7th minute. Kolasinac getting his first touches on the ball and making an impact on the game. We'll try to float this one into Ginczek on the near post. Not the best effort by Afori, and surely Frankfurt will get that cleared. That's a great ball to set up Alex Meyer. Will he have an effort on target? No, it's Toski coming to the rescue, putting in a crucial block, and now we can get on the counterattack. We've got options in the middle. We find Ginczek, now Werner, making a great one over to Maxime, and now back to Mane, who started the attack, cutting it back inside, looking for Maxime. We're working it around, but it's Rus coming to the rescue on the other side. The match will stay level. It's a throw in for Frankfurt. And now Tawatha has enough pace to outrun Zimmer. Surely he's going to try to whip it across to Meyer. Well done by Kolasinac to get that clear. Afori now setting up Maxime. We need to get players forward and try to get on the attack of our own. This is Werner looking to use his pace and just outrun these defenders. He gets taken out, and we also have an injury. This is Afori, and this is bad news for us because this is his first match pretty much taking over for Gettner. He gets injured. I'm hoping it's not too serious. We will bring on Christian Gettner to finish out this match. The passing play is just so much better in the Bundesliga compared to the second division. We're very lucky not to have conceded that one. Langreck might have it covered, but Frankfurt has been the better side in this first half. Nice bit of passing right here. Ginczek on the ball, getting it on his right foot. We might as well just try to get an effort on target, and we win ourselves another corner kick. I'll take this one short once again and see if Zimmer can float one in to the far post. We have a few players there, and that one getting on target. It needs to be a good save for the keeper. Here's Ginczek once again. Doesn't have the best strong foot, but he'll get this one on target. Maybe we can follow that up. Now we're starting to heat up and finally test out the Frankfurt keeper. The momentum is gradually going to our side. It's 0-0 after 45 minutes. Neither side were critical enough. We had 5 shots, only one of which on target, compared to Frankfurt's 3 shots and 0 on target. Pretty much level on the possession, so it's anyone's match. There's Ginczek on the ball, playing it inside to Maxime. Now over to Mane. Back to Werner. Now through to Maxime. This is some great link-up play. We're looking for Werner in the middle. Not sure what Maxime was trying because that was nowhere close to Werner. With about 10 minutes left to go, we'll use our 2 remaining substitutions. I'll be taking off Mane for Julian Green because Green somehow finds a way to always get the winning goal. The second substitution will be Terodde coming on for Ginczek. Terodde played very well in his most recent match for the Pokal, so maybe he can replicate that here. This is Timothy Chandler pushing up from the right back position. We need to get that cleared. Well done by Zimmer. And now Green able to get this away. Gettner playing it back in the middle. This is Werner playing it forward to Maxime. We've got a few playing. Here's Terodde. We've got options available. And it's Václav Czerny with not much stamina left. We'll play it back in the middle. It's Maxime to play it across. What a block by the defender. Maybe I should have looked to get that on target. But I saw the sweat opportunity. Oh my goodness, this Bundesliga defending is on another level. To be honest, I think a draw was a fair result. Had we gotten that late winner, that would have been completely unfair to Frankfurt and we would have stolen 3 points. But looking at the player ratings, it was Zimmer who won man of the match with a 7.7 rating, sharing that rating with Klosterman. An update on the Afori injury, he'll be out for about a month, which means Gettner will take over the starting center defensive mid role, and it will also mean that Acosta and Grgic will get some more playtime. Out of the 3 right backs on our short list, we've had transfer offers accepted for 2 of them, Felix Passlack and Jonas Benson. And guys, I was shocked to see that AZ accepted this bid. 5 million for a player worth 6 million on his market value, and although it will use the remainder of our transfer funds, we'll be left with 5,000 on our player wages. I think this deal has to happen. Don't get me wrong, I think Felix Passlack is a very promising player, but for the time being, Svensson will improve our team so much, and he'll be the long-term option for us at the right back position. So without further ado, welcome to Stuttgart, Jonas Benson. Jonas Benson is a Norwegian fullback joining us from AZ Alkmaar, having spent several seasons playing for Rosenborg and featuring in the Norwegian national team. He's a well-established player and will bring confidence to the Stuttgart team. His high work rates isn't a bad thing in my opinion. It shows that he's a hard worker and is willing to contribute to this team. Moreover, his engine speciality will allow him to play the full 90 minutes. Outside of his shooting ability, there isn't a statistic Svensson is poor at. With 82 acceleration and 84 sprint speed, he's quick enough to keep up with most attackers. Additionally, his 74 passing is excellent for a fullback. For a transfer fee of only 5 million, I believe that Svensson will be one of the best transfers we make in this career mode. With 1 hour left on transfer deadline day, I want to take a look around the league and see what some of the top spending clubs were. Leverkusen brought in a lot of players and didn't really sell anyone, so they need to be among the front runners in the Bundesliga this season. RB Leipzig also brought in a significant amount of players. Of course, they did sell Timo Werner to us. And speaking of us, we did bring in 28.5 million worth of players and sold only 7 million, and that was simply because we got promoted and we received a lot of funds for being promoted from the second Bundesliga to the Bundesliga, and we had just enough cash to make that last minute transfer deal in Svensson happen. But moving on, Bayern only spending 9 million in this transfer window. That's very strange to see. You usually see them very active, but it looks like Dortmund took over as the big spenders, bringing in a lot of players and not selling anyone, so they're looking to go back-to-back, winning the title twice, and they might be able to do so considering the amount of investments they made. But that'll wrap things up for a look around the league, and finally we'll take a look around the world. Antoine Griezmann, not surprisingly, going to Manchester United for over 100 million, Oblak going to Juventus for 77.5 million, and Christian Eriksen going to Juventus for 54.5 million. Now that the transfer window is complete, we've entered a new month and we'll have our first scouting report of Season 2, and we already do have some player growth, mostly for the players that have been receiving player training, but some of our youth academy players are also growing naturally, which is great to see, and hopefully we will be able to sign up some more youth academy players in the future. As for our budget, I'm hoping that we receive some more funds for advancing to the later stages of the Europa League as well as the Pokal, so I'm not too concerned about that, and I think by the time January does roll around, we'll have some additional funds, and we might even sell off some players by January. Before addressing the player training for this month, I quickly wanted to take a look at Taylor and Ojeda, specifically their skill move, weak foot, and work rate set. For Taylor, he has low work rates, but he does have a 5-star weak foot, 3-star skills, so not too bad at all. For Ojeda, he does have high medium work rates, 1-star weak foot, which is very disappointing, but 4-star skill moves. So basically, we won't be able to use him on his right foot, but as a left-footed player on the left side, he might serve some use to this team. Unfortunately, we do have a few players out on international duty, so our options were limited for the player training, but we have Ziegler, Ongwene, Grgic, and Werner given training spots for this month. We have a monthly scouting update attached from Ghana. Unfortunately, we don't have the funds to sign up any of these players, even if we do find a high value 94 potential player, but I thought I would still include these scouting reports in the case that we are granted funds and we can sign up any of these players before the 3-month period does come to an end. Overall, I'm still very happy with the Svensson deal. I'm willing to take a hit on our youth scouting in the short term in order to make that long-term deal happen. Good news for us, as Afori has returned from his injury and he can now rejoin us for first team squad training sessions, and Pavard has approached me saying he wants to play in this upcoming match against Schalke. Schalke. I'll be starting him over on Gwene for this fixture. After only picking up 1 point in our first Bundesliga match, I would love to get a win here, especially after a big name club like Schalke, and with the addition of Svensson, I'm confident our defense will be solid and maybe Werner or Ginczek can get a goal in this match. Schalke does feature some big name players in their starting 11, but one thing worth noting is that Ralf Fährmann will not be in their lineup because he was sold off to another team and they've had to option for a different goalkeeper. I'm hoping that Sajid Kolasinac has spent enough time playing with these Schalke players that he knows their playstyle and he can shut them down defensively. It's a great tackle by Gentner. And nice dribbling to hang on to it as well. We've got Mane. Playing it over to Ginczek, now over to Maxime, trying to thread the needle and pass Naldo. Werner was through on goal, and if it would have been a little bit more inside, then it could have worked out. But a promising start for us. We're looking good on the attacking side of things. Choupo-Moting just dribbling by our defenders. We need to close him down, but it's Huntelaar getting an effort on target. Langrecht pulling another big save off, and now Czerny trying to beat this attacker. Schulf wins back possession for Schalke. It's Ayogo playing it through to Geis, and he will bury that into the back of the net. That's the first goal we've conceded this year, and it was a monstrous effort by Geis. Great tackle by Kolasinac. Now playing it forward to Maxime. He plays it out wide to Czerny. We've got Werner through on goal, trying to get an effort on target, but the defender's closing him down. We'll play back in the middle to Ginczek. He's trying to shoot, but these defenders are just swarming him, and I feel like we need to be a bit more simple with our attack. Here's Maxime, playing this one through. And Kolasinac pushing up from his left back position and nearly got by the Schalke defenders. I don't mind that. If he can push up and score some goals this season, that would be spectacular. Here's Maxime, finding Werner, now cutting it inside. We're trying to play it through. It's Werner through on goal, and he'll shoot that one, hitting the bar. And unfortunately, we're not able to tie things up. Werner's first clear opportunity as a Stuttgart player, and he's unable to bury it. Of course, Schalke are going to answer right back, and they might be able to make it 2-0. Braithwaite on the near post, and that is just the way things tend to go. We were that close to leveling things up, and all of a sudden, now we're down 2-0. We need to find a way to turn things around. There we go. We've got Maxime making that run. Somehow we made it through, but Maxime's touch was horrible, and Schalke, surely they're going to go into the halftime break with a 2-0 advantage. We've had a few chances, we just haven't been able to finish. There we go. Mane just flowed in across to the far post. It's Timo Werner, and we're able to get one back just before the halftime break. And guess who it is? It's Werner, rising high, and he's just showing his heading ability. You know, he's known for his pace, but he's a physical presence inside the box. He's 5'11", and he showed his hops right there. There's no way the keeper's going to save that. Well, it's a good thing we got a goal back just before the break because things were not looking promising for us. Schalke were still the better team in the first half, but we had a few chances to make things level, and we can still very well get a draw or even a win out of this match. Oh, Svensson, you got to be quicker on the ball, and that might be a third goal. Great block by Gentner, still with it, and a huge save by Langrecht. 60 minutes into the match, Schalke are trying to seal this fixture, but we are holding on for dear life. I'm actually going to make one change right now, taking Maxime off and bringing on Özkan. We haven't featured him yet this season, and he had a couple of good games last year, so maybe that can roll over again into Season 2. That's an easy clearance, well done by Czerny. We need to close down this attacker. It's Max Meyer. Still on the ball, dribbling by, and there was no way we're going to stop him. You could tell by the way he was dribbling, dipping and weaving through our defense that he was about to fire off a shot. And I feel bad for Langrecht because we shouldn't have let him shoot in the first place. This is Özkan trying to make an instant impact, and I think that was Ginczek going for the diving header on the ball that was trickling across the ground. Still 25 minutes left to play. We might be able to get a draw out of this. I'm going to use my 2 final substitutions with 15 minutes left. We also need to start thinking about our Europa League fixture, which is in just a few days. So Gentner will be coming off, and Grgic will be coming on for him. At left mid, we'll bring on Julian Green for Czerny. Oh, that's some beautiful play. Ginczek needs to finish this. He shot it right at the keeper. Of all places to shoot, you need to at least make the keeper work a bit. Well, it's great that we finally managed to score a goal in the Bundesliga, but Schalke's attack was just too much to handle today. Man of the match going to Timo Werner with an 8.9 rating. Here is our monthly scouting update from Mexico. Another short list, but we have a 75 to 94 potential player, 250,000. I would consider signing him if we did have the funds available, but of course we're not going to sign anyone this month. I realize that we actually haven't had a chance to look at our Europa League group, and we do have the likes of Roma, Legia Warsaw, and Admira Wacker, who will be our opponent today. I still think we can finish within the top two, but we need to play well in these matches. Our lineup for this Europa League fixture isn't ideal, but it will give us a chance to experiment with different players, including Clement, who actually hasn't played for us yet, so I'm starting him at center attacking mid rather than Özkan, just to see how he plays. If I like him, I'll keep him on team. If I don't like him, I'll probably sell him during January. But Kolasinac will also be appearing at some point at left mid. Czerny's a little bit tired, so is Kolasinac, so they'll share some playtime. Here is the Admira Wacker starting 11. I did a little research on them, and they like to feature a pretty young side, so I'm hoping that our experience that we feature in our team will be able to give us the advantage. Gonna work the ball out wide. Zimmer finding Tirota. Now into green. We've got the far post run for Werner. He scored a header goal already, and he'll score another one here. Both of Timo Werner's goals for Stuttgart have been headers. I don't think anyone was expecting that with a 17.5 million signing, but a goal's a goal, and we'll take it. Oh, that is a well-timed run by the Admira Wacker player. Surely he's going to look to send in a cross, and it's a low cross sent in. Toth shooting on goal, and it hits the side netting. We're very close to conceding there. Here's Acosta. Now to Tirota. We're doing some nice play, and this will fall to Clement. He'll shoot that one across the keeper. It's 2-0 for Stuttgart, 25 minutes into the match. Where has this play been all season? We bring it in the Euro League, and I'm hoping we can continue this form. Oh, the play is exceptional. Werner going across the keeper, and it's 3 in 38 minutes. This is the attacking performance we've needed all season, and I feel like our team is finally starting to build some chemistry. That 1-2 pass between, I think that was Clement and Werner, was exceptional. Oh, this could be one back for them. That's a great cross sent in and a decent finish by Gorzurek. It's 1-3 going into the halftime break. We need to make sure we hang on defensively because this match is not over. Overall, a very solid first half. 6 shots, 4 on target, and 56% of the possession. One thing that has been standing out to me has been Clement's performances. He's been setting up a lot of chances through assists, and he also bagged a goal of his own, so I think I'll have to start featuring him in more matches. Oh, this is not looking good. This has to be a second goal had it not been for a weak effort. Admira Wacker were just one clinical finish away from making this match interesting, but I think we can seal out this match here within the next few minutes. Werner is looking for that counterattack, and he's trying to get his brace. Oh, we've got a through ball. No one marking the left-hand side, but we're almost able to contain another missed effort. This match should be level, but they just cannot finish in the final third. We'll use our 2 final substitutions. Czerny coming off, and as promised, Kolasinac coming on. For Clement, we are actually going to feature Fabio Cortez. Hasn't played a match yet this year, and he could definitely play cam. Here's Cortez. Seeing the run by Insua. Now it's Kolasinac trying to go across the keeper, and Kolasinac on his left foot is going to be clinical from there. That will surely seal off the match, and more importantly, that's Kolasinac's first goal for Stuttgart. We know he's an attacking-minded fullback, and he shows it right there. I'm really happy to have closed out the episode with a win and a great performance in the Europa League. Man of the match, I don't think there's much question. It goes to Timo Werner with a 9.5 rating. But guys, that'll wrap things up for today's episode of the Stuttgart Career Mode. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, make sure you leave a like down below, subscribe if you're new around here, and if you're interested, you can follow me on my social links. I have links to those in the description down below. But until next time, this has been Flick. I'll be talking to you guys again soon.